Bonjour toute la classe. Very good. Very good. All right. Today I prepared you for French with the obvious opening, the Queen's Gambit decline Chigorin variation. Or as Mike Kummer would call it, E4, E5. Either way, the much more obscure Chigorin Ruy Lopez, which I've also played, which is even worse. Now this is worse. Okay, so I'm lecturing on the middle game because I was told to. Also, I like I like reading your great comments on the internet about my lectures. So keep sending those. Those are hilarious, right? It really shows how intelligent my audience is. Okay, although Julian claimed you guys were less intelligent. That's a big fight you got in your hands. So today is a very special day because there's three employees of the chess club who have birthdays today. So hopefully not the same parents though. But, and also today's the day the Cubs start to win the World Series as predicted in your favorite movie. Yeah, exactly. Although prediction was a little suspicious. Okay, anyway, we're gonna look at a position that's unusual because probably Black's already made 2 mistakes. But you know, it's like move 10, so that's less mistakes than you at home usually make by move 10. 10, yeah. Okay, and this is a game I played against Adam Lief in the US Junior Championship before your great-grandmother was born. Okay, wait, Lulu just walked in, so we're gonna start the lecture over, even though it's being recorded. Oh, please close the door, thank you. All right, so when I played in the US Junior Championship, you know, back in the day, that was the most fun tournament ever. I was even sillier then. And I always wondered when I played Adam Lief, if I wrote a letter to his family, if I would write the Leaves. Because I don't think you can write the Leafs. That doesn't make any sense. You hear me talking, Mike Kummer? You're the English major over here, Mike Kummer. Okay, so we played at Chigorin. Now the line I'm going to look at today starts with knight f3, and then this line. Okay, now in this position, if you're a good player, then you play the move e6. And this is seen in many Grandmaster games. But I never claimed to be a good player, so I play e5. And in this position, if you're a good player, you play queen to d6, as in many Kasparov-Smyslov games, your 2 favorite players. Okay, they played a match what year? What year did they play candidates match? Anyone? 80-something. 80-something is correct. Okay, and they actually played in the final. So whoever won that match played Karpov for the World Championship. It could have been Smyslov-Karpov. Okay, now Smyslov got the consolation prize. He did lose the match to Kasparov, but unlike Kasparov, he attended my first wedding. So if you could pick to win a candidates match to be the world champion or attend my first wedding, you gotta flip a coin. Some people did both. Like Nigel Short, no, he lost the world championship match. Right. Okay, so everybody plays queen d6 here because it's obvious to even the most dim-witted individual with an advanced degree in hyperbolic topology that this pawn is better than this pawn. So I play e takes d4 because that's what I do. Although I'm certain queen d6 is a better move. Okay, and then he takes, getting rid of his stupid pawn. And I play knight g7. This is actually the starting position of our lecture today. Unfortunately, HBO didn't have enough money to pay me for a whole hour, so we're done. Drop the mic. And I have to walk away. You know Chappelle's show? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Okay, good. You got it. Yeah. As long as 1 in a million gets it. That's the David Miller. What's his name? Dennis Miller ratio. Can you edit that? Okay, good. What? This is tough. You got to edit my lectures, dude. You don't edit when Mike Kummer's up here and you come up here for an hour fixing it. You don't edit that. It's just you up there fixing it, and that's the whole lecture. Okay. All right. Now in this position, White has an obvious advantage. Mike Kummer. What's the obvious white advantage?
2 bishops.
2 bishops. Man, if Ken West was here, we would have had a funny answer. Oh well. But White has the 2 bishops better than the 2 knights. Although this opening is named after what famous Russian grandmaster?
Chigorin.
That's correct. Now, I'm not going to go out on a limb and ask him Chigorin's first name, because that's not going to work out well. But we'll ask Julian. Of course, yeah. Okay, same as Botvinnik and Tall, maybe. Okay, now the advantages that Black has black's pawns are pretty sweet. All together, nothing doubled, nothing isolated. All of white's pawns are doubled and tripled and quadrupled and sow-cowed, isolated. Horrible, as Mike Hummer would say. Unfortunately for black, white has a lot of center pawns and black has 0. On the other hand, I can castle either way and you can't castle at all, and I have all my minor pieces out, you only have 1. This one, not that one. Okay, but I think bishop f1 was developed. It's on f1, yes. Okay. Now this game was played in 1987. I remember winning a long endgame where I was worse most of the game. One thing I like about this opening is that if you're worse, it doesn't matter. It's too complicated. So people just sit there confused and their flag falls, as in my game with Anatoly Lane from 1,000 years ago, where he lost on time and sat there confused. Okay, so he played bishop e2, developing his bishop. Terrible. Now bishop e2 is okay. Now in this opening, black can castle either way. I usually prefer castling queenside, so I did. Queen to b3. Normally the endgame will favor white because if you have doubled pawns and isolated pawns and your king is on e1, your king might get in trouble. In the endgame, your king won't get in trouble. Okay, I played rook e8. Oh, look how good I'm so well developed here. I'm the best. Okay, rook b1. Now, I almost played the move queen d7 because I figured in about 30 years Ken West would recommend it. Okay, but then I was like, wait a minute, I've never met Ken West. I know who that is. So then I changed my mind. Okay, but I did touch my queen, so I had to move my queen. Queen d7, not a good move, right, Mike Hummer? Because of checkmate. The only move allowing checkmate. Ken West recommended. Man, it's tough when you're not here.
What about the king d8?
Exclam. Once again, corrected by the audience who always can figure out how to hang mate in 1. Much better than I can. Man, I didn't even see king b8. It's too good. Okay, but I touched my queen, so queen takes queen. Now we're going to vote. You can vote at home. Okay? So here's what I want you to do. Okay, I want you to pretend you're here, which you're already doing, and get it right down, and then see how you did. I'll wait. Come on, hurry up. Okay, now we're going to vote. Did white take with the pawn or with the rook? Who says with the pawn? Okay, hold on. Okay, 7 people at home. And who says with the rook? And as per usual, the entire class is wrong. Shocking. But you at home were right, because you wrote down both answers. That's not what you did. He took with the pawn. Now generally, you want your pawns to come closer together, although it's very strange to put your rook on the b file, then take with the pawn. Perhaps you wanted to play b4, b5. Julian with some crazy comment.
I was just going to say, if my rook's on b1, I don't want to close the b file, that's fine.
Yeah, but then your a pawn's weak. I think the moves are similar. I just wanted the class to be wrong. Oh, all right. Okay, yeah, it's about the same. Okay, knight to g6, that'll show him. Sometimes white plays rook g1 and takes my g pawn. Okay, that's not had too much to drink. But knight g6, none of that will happen. King f1. Otherwise, I could play for tricks that don't exist. But I would still play for them. For example, f4, knight takes f4, knight takes d4. What should white play? You. Bishop e3, check, takes. Who's better here? No. Probably draw, right? You. Yeah, but white has the wrong colored rook pawn, which I'm sure you were thinking of. Yeah. You think white's better? Yeah, rook's no good. You're just going by all my theories. I didn't have these theories in 1987, so I don't know who's better. Okay, so white stopped all of that by playing king f1. No pinning. You do. Okay, so I played f5, and I want to play f4. But he beat me to it. Darn. Although I teach a lot of kids classes, and taking this way is pretty common. So giving black a nice advantage. All right, you're going to learn that on Thursday, Lulu. You'll be like, what? What are you doing?
When they stop trash talking me?
Exactly. Yeah, they'll never stop that. Okay, now we have sort of a blocked position which is good for the bishops or the knights? The knights, right. And also, my pieces are all good. Computer, of course, likes white because white has 2 bishops. Also, white's better. Okay, king b8, as you recommended earlier. Rook g1. I played rook d6 a lot in this opening. There's not a lot of openings where you play rook d6 a lot. Okay, but in this opening, my d-pawn's gone immediately, so I have rook d6. Okay, rook g5, but I saw it. Defending, boring. Rook g8, so my knight on g6 can move. And e4. So, as Popeye would say, and he was a fine chess player, he had all he could stands. He can't stands no more. We moved around and around and around, and he was bored, and he played e4. Normally that would be a bad move because I'm going to take all of his pawns. But the computer likes it because his bishops get very active and he opens the position. Now unfortunately, Ken West isn't here, so nobody will suggest pawn takes pawn, which hangs the knight on d5. Right, Danny? Okay. So I played knight takes f4. He played bishop c4 attacking my rook. I saw it. And then e5. So he's pushing his pawns forward. He's sacrificing a pawn, but he's going to win it back. And now he has the passed e pawn. However, with the isolated pawns, the weak d4 pawn, the complicated king position where both of us can get mated, it's too early to tell what's going to happen. And the computer eventually says the position is equal. And he does win his pawn back, but at what price? Rook h6. I noticed often in the Chigorin, my rook is moving sideways along the 3rd rank. Doesn't happen in other openings too often. King g1, defending. Now again, Ken West isn't here, so I can't explain that knight e2 fails to bishop takes, but I would if he was here. So I played c6, getting a little lift, blocking the d4 pawn. Bishop f1, obviously the right move. I played rook d8, attacking the d pawn. The problem is, when you push all of your pawns, your opponent might take them. Okay, it's hard to defend the d4 pawn, especially with a pawn. Okay, rook f7, attacking my pawn like I'm nobody. Rook g6 check. If only Ken West is here so I could ask him what white would play here. But it would be insulting to anybody. You!
It would be rook f8.
Well, I don't know about that. That's rook f8 check. Okay, so if you're confused at home, so am I. King h1, put it in h. Rook g8. And Lulu's like, wait a minute, rook g1 mate is the threat. That's what she was thinking. Yeah. Okay, so he decided not to get mated. h3, put it in h. Now again, I'm not claiming that black wins with the Chigorin. In fact, black's probably losing. That's not my point. I'm not the one on trial here. The point is that Chigorin's very complicated, and it's not like a lot of openings where white's a little better, and then they agree to a draw in 30 moves. Both sides have winning chances, and it's easy to make a mistake. And throughout the game, the computer said that white's better, but you can see black has good chances. Rook check. Again, insert Ken West joke here. King h2. Knight to d3. As I was playing the game over, I thought knight takes h3 was really cool.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but 1987, what do I know? Yeah. But knight d3 is probably better.
Why?
I don't know, why not? Why? What do?
Why does it win?
What's wrong with knight d3? How could you? After knight takes h3, can he take with the bishop and get 6 queens?
And 6 queens?
You know, take on f5, h7, e6, e7. That could be dangerous.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You play rook d1 and take on d4.
Who?
You.
Rook d1?
Yeah, like you take on d1.
Yeah, I don't know. You're a little slow over there. Yeah. e6, e7's fast. It's fast. Yeah. All right, so knight d3, double exclam. Not sure why he can't take it. Okay, rook a1, knight f2. Let's see, who can I ask? You, what's the threat? What's black threatening?
What's white threatening?
No, what's black threatening? Who? You know? You never know.
Oh, I know. Rook over 8-8.
Yeah, rook h1 mate with advantage. Yeah. Okay, so he played a little sugar me do. Rook f8 check. Yeah, tricky, right? Yeah. Okay, and everybody's happy. Black's a pawn up. Computer says it's equal. Okay, that happens. a6, never do anything. I learned early. Yeah. Okay, and eventually, because I was a pawn up in the endgame, I won with my extra pawn, plus 2 pawns. Yeah. Now I'm 3 pawns up and mate with advantage. Then the kings go in the middle, confusing everybody. You with the crazy comment.
Only never play
A6?
Yeah, A6.
You mean on move 5 of that game we looked at today?
Yeah.
Well, this is a different game. Yeah. Okay, so in that game, we got a very complex position where either side could have had the advantage, and computer liked white, and then it didn't. And that's the good thing about the Chigorin, is if you play the Chigorin often, you'll have more games than your opponent who's facing all kinds of nonsense. Usually not the Chigorin. Usually something else. Okay, now for all you people in the Netherlands watching, this game was played in the Netherlands, so nah. Okay, now somebody tried to correct me telling me where Belgium and the Netherlands was. They're both on the earth. Okay, I lived in Belgium for 4 years before you were born. So they moved a little bit. It used to be the countries lined up, now they moved it differently. Okay, do they believe me? They don't know. Don't tell them. Okay, so this is a game I was black in the Netherlands against a Dutch player. Okay, and this, whoa.
Uh-oh.
That's bad, right?
For complete, you want to view it?
No.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, this is the other thing. That's the other thing he was doing. I thought it was my thing. Yeah. Okay. So this is the same opening with all the same mistakes. Okay. This is 1991, and so after that spit take, white played bishop e2, which we saw earlier. It was about 10 minutes ago. And what did I do 10 minutes ago? You.
Castle's queenside.
And what did I do here?
Castle's kingside.
Yeah, I probably castle queenside. Yeah, that's how I roll. Okay, queen b3, looking familiar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rook he8, and he castled queenside. He showed me. Very confusing. But again, if you're going to trade queens, your king's not so exposed until the next game when we don't trade queens. I hope you can hear that. It was pretty close to the mic. Okay, f5 as in the previous game. Bishop c3, king b8 as in the previous game. Takes. I wonder which way he took this time. Should we vote again? This time you have a better chance of being right. All right. Knight d5, king b2. Yeah. Rook d6 as in the previous game. So in the previous game, white got his pawns going, but ended up sacrificing a pawn doing so. Here, white has nothing. He can't get his pawns going. Rook g1 as in the previous game, but without rook e1. Rook h6. Rook h1, a brilliant maneuver. Rook e1 to g1 to h1. Never do anything. You with some crazy comment.
Why didn't white take on g7?
Horrible. I actually think it is horrible.
It is?
Yeah, well, you missed something, obviously.
What did I miss?
Rook takes h2,
Bishop e1.
and that's what you missed. You still don't see it? Aren't you like 2800?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, is it knight takes e3 good?
Yeah.
Looks good.
Yeah.
All right, so we were analyzing the following variation, and I thought knight e3 was good, and white loses everything. Still draw probably, but good for black. Like you'd probably rather have black here.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because I don't know what I do. Cry. Yeah.
Play d5 maybe. Yeah.
I think crying made more sense. Okay, so I assume when he played rook g1, and he thought I would play here, he was gonna do something like that. And he's like, yeah, all right, rook there. Okay, hey, what happened? What's going on? Okay, rook h3, stopping his h-pawn from moving. Okay, anyway, I played rook h3. Now his rook is tied down to his pawn, so that's good for him. Bishop e1, recommended by Julian. a6, never do anything. That gives me lift. Bishop f1, forcing my rook to retreat. Rook takes f3 looks risky. It's not risky?
No, bishop g2.
Oh, it is risky. Yeah, I didn't do that, yeah. Okay, go all the way back, and back to d6, yes. See, we're good. You guys at home, you're like making moves. We move our rook back and forth to the starting position, and my opponent does the same. Okay, once you can do that, you too will be a grandmaster. Probably of like rap or something, I don't know. Okay, rook g1, again, g6, solid. Bishop g2. Why did my opponent play bishop g2 instead of somewhere else?
Because he fears repeating.
He does what?
He fears repeating.
Ah, you with the right answer.
Because he wants to play f4 and have his bishop on the long leg.
I was going to say e4 and crush me, but either one's good.
Also, why didn't he play f4 first?
Because I think I'm right. I don't think he wants to play f4.
Why not?
I think he wants to play e4 and then do this. Okay, Wes approved. Although usually he's usually like that. Okay, don't sue me, Donkey Kong. All right. You know my brother's good at Donkey Kong. Did you know that?
Why would I know that?
Well, now you know it. Did you forget?
You never did that.
I mean, have you forgotten in the last 5 seconds?
Oh, no.
Yeah, because I'm used to these people. So, you know. Yeah. I asked the guy, what's the right move? And he's like, I was like, what? Okay. So I played knight b4, but I won't tell you which one. Knight c. Yeah. Bishop f1. Always play bishop f1, right? Rook c6. Yay, I'm threatening to check him. Mike Kummer approved. Bishop c4. Ha, and you made fun of me when I played a6. I saw you making fun of me. Now it all comes to fruition. Okay, now white has lost his most important of advantages.
The two bishops.
The two bishops. Also, he's left with the bishop on d2. Ew. Okay, rook c1. Always trade. King b7. King b6. Advancing my king in the ending like you guys always do. a5. b4. Look at me advance. h3, terrible. Okay. And this was the game where I made one of my favorite moves. After e4, I played knight d7. That was one of my favorite moves. I like that move. What's black's next move? You. c5. Rawr. Yeah. Okay, rook c1. Rook d8. Rawr. Threatening discovered everything. Although not really. But it does stop e5. I guarantee it. Because then I go here. Yay. And then white has a good pawn structure. If you're at home, I'm just kidding.
Against Ken West, it's tricky because king e3 threatens rook c5.
Correct. Also, what? All right. Bishop g5. Nah, I blame you. Okay. Bishop g5. Rook a8. Ready to queen on the queen side. c5 as recommended by Julian. Rook d8 again. And here I come. Rook c8. Knight f8. Recommended by which Danish grandmaster? No, nothing over here? Ben Larsen. He was about as Danish as I am. Lived in South America the last 60 years of his life. Okay. Okay, he was born in Denmark. All right, rook e1, knight e6, and it's over. I have a majority. His majority is a joke. Now, this is my favorite move of the game. Only Julian can find it. I played knight c5, attacking b3, and he played e5 to get Gegenspiel, right? And now what did I do?
Knight e6.
Obviously.
Really?
Yeah, taking the pawn makes too much sense. He would expect that.
I would play knight e6.
Yeah, I don't want my opponent to queen. After knight e6, and I haven't played this game over since 91, but I remember doing that. Now he can't do Vishwa nothing. And in 91, he was pretty good Vishwa nothing. Now he's nothing. Okay. Terrible. If you're following the World Rapid and Blitz, don't look up a non-score. Shh. He's just kidding. He's not really playing. Horrible. Although you can look up MVL score if you insist. I mean, a lot of know what's happened in day 2, so only day 1. Okay, so now white was assuming that after e5 I would take his pawn, he'd play e6, e7, and he'd have counterplay, and I would fold. But instead knight e6, and he's got nothing. Okay, check, a4, his bishop's pretty good on f6. Terrible. King c4, forcing this, and my pawn's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good. And he played what move? Don't say resign. You. Bishop a3. Now, if you know your Rady studies, you will know that I played king a1 here. However, if you know my comedy, you know I didn't do that. Man, this class is dumber than usual. Did you drug them or something? What did my comer do to you people? All right, so I took, obviously. And even though my opponent gets to queen, although he didn't queen, he resigned, I get to queen with checkmate. Is this legal?
Yes.
All right, is this mate?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. So that was another interesting Chigorin that went into an endgame, very similar to the first game. Now we're going to change tack a little bit because we're not going to break the computer like we did last time. Okay, this was one of my few draws in the Chigorin where I sacked all my pieces. So my comer is going to really enjoy this game. I sacked everything. Then it was a drawn rook and pawn ending. Sorry. But I tried. This is my good friend, Dr. Steve Feldman, FIDE master, medical doctor. Now, I have a funny story about Steve. Hopefully he's not watching this, because he ain't going to like this. There's a guy in Michigan who occasionally has seizures. Okay, not Justin. And he only has seizures when he's playing chess. If he's not, he's fine. So he plays chess every year or two, has a seizure, stops playing. So I'm playing in a league match, and then of course the guy has a seizure, because that's what he does. Sort of like, in the Geico commercials, that's what he does. Is it Geico or Progressive? I don't know. Is it Geico? Yeah, I don't know. A newcomer would know. Yeah, like the guy has seizures, that's what he does. Okay, so when he has a seizure, the game always ends. Sometimes he wins, sometimes he loses. Sometimes his opponent's like, whoa, you win. My God. And then his opponent's like, hey, I won. The guy's having a seizure. It depends who his opponent is. Anyway, he had a seizure, so the chessboard gets thrown over. He's foaming at the mouth. Okay, sort of like a couple of days ago when I had you. Anyway, so Dr. Feldman was playing like 3 boards away, and I remember him like, like his game was much more important than the guy dying back there. He was looking, he might live, but look at this position I got. Okay, so he knew what was important. Even I helped the guy, and that's when you know. When I help you, you're not in trouble. Okay, so he played rook g1, Steve, and I broke my rule, because rules were made to be broken. Now, Lulu's been paying quite a bit of attention, and she probably noticed that in the last 2 games, I castled long.
Kingside?
Kingside, that's where we are. No, I played g6. Yes, the greatest trick ever. Although kingside castling's better. Okay, you with some crazy comment.
Why didn't you play knight to g6 in this position like in the last game?
That would be too good. Yeah. By the way, I think every move is better than g6. g6 terrible. You with some crazy comment.
After knight to g6, can I play h4?
You mean, is it legal?
No, I mean, is it good?
Okay, I take it.
Knight over g7. I mean, knight after is good. Dang.
Man, my comer's furious. My comer's like, who is this guy? I lost to this guy? Yeah. By the way, after h4, what if you could move again?
h5.
Queen h5.
Yeah.
You could have said rook g5 and saved yourself.
No, but then queen b3.
This is why Mike Comer lectures instead of you. I'm not sure, there must be another reason too. Okay, so g6, f4, short castle, bishop g2, queen back. Now I'm threatening knight takes d4. There's no way he'll see that. King f, darn. Rook d8, queen b3. Knight takes d4. That move's too complicated. Mike Comer approved?
take it.
That's what he did.
He doesn't see queen a6 check.
I know. That's what he did. You saw queen a6 check. You also see king e1.
Yeah.
Now he can castle the other way. This was a few years ago. They didn't change the rules yet.
Emily tries.
Knight f5. Now, do I have good comp for a piece? The answer is fries. I mean, yes. I got rook e8 check. I'm not going to tell you which one. I got knight takes d4. Right? I'm all over you like Oprah on self-promotion. And she wasn't even famous in 92. Or was she? Yeah, she was. Okay. Right? Yeah. Okay. So I'm not sure if I'm all over him then. Okay. So bishop takes b7, confusing everyone. Rook check, bishop e3, queen f6. Computer says all zeros.
Really?
Yeah. But that's what you get with the Chigorin. Complicated. Now, I beat the rap on why the Chigorin is bad. All of you people at home, you're like, 2 bishops is better than 2 knights. Aha, I only have 1 knight now. See? You didn't see that coming. Yeah. Can't complain about my other knight. Okay, so king f1, again. Rook b8, pinning his bishop. Rook b1, knight d6. Queen f5, attacking his rook. He saw it. Takes. Notice my rook on e8 is hanging. Right, Cummer? Very good. Cummer's like, wait a minute. He's like, just a second here. So if I take his rook, he takes my rook with check. So I did this, and we get to a drawn rook and pawn endgame. Yeah, but I don't have a king. King d3, rook c1, rook c7. I could lose. That happened, by the way.
But you could win.
No.
No?
No, that all happened. Yeah. Okay, and draw. And then I perpetual him, he perpetuals me. We're a happy family. Draw agreed, all zeros at the end. So that was a very exciting game. And when I do live commentary here, which you people at home can't see, why aren't you coming here? What's wrong with you? When I do live commentary for US Championship, Sinkfield Cup, US Women's, US Junior, well, the junior they can see, right? I think the junior is on the internet.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the other ones, you can't see that. No. Okay, I talk about how when the game is really exciting at the beginning, then it peters out to a draw. And when it's really boring, then it gets all exciting in time trouble. So this was just such an instant. Okay, now we're gonna skip, wait, what happened? Edit everything. All right, so this is my game with Salvijus Bercys. The only thing tougher than beating him is pronouncing his name. Okay, his last name is Bercys. Okay, and he had just come from Wheel of Fortune where he bought a vowel. And then he sold it to Laputin. Wow, I couldn't believe it. Okay, and we played the obvious beginning. Okay, now in this game, we're gonna see a queenside castling without a queen trade. Ow. I remember seeing him a year or two after this game, and he explained to me how he was crushing me. What? All right. So rook g1. What did I play last game? Lulu. Remember you said castles, but it was a lie?
Yeah.
What did I play? Do you remember?
Pawn, what was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully I improved this game. Yes. Castles. g6, terrible. Next time I'll play knight g6 because Mike Hummer recommended it. Bishop c3, rook d8, e4. Too early, which reminds me of a funny joke, except it's not a joke. It happened in real life. 2 grandmasters were playing. One was better than the other. And the weaker grandmaster offered a draw like I moved 6. And the guy said it is too early. Can't have drawn 6 moves. It wasn't Nakamura and McShane, obviously. Anyway, so then I moved 20. He's like, okay, I'll offer a draw. And the guy said, too late. So, all right, e4, too early. He's trying to beat me the first 10 moves. I'm not chopped liver, I'm vegetarian. Come on. Ridiculous. So queen h5. What am I doing, Julian? Put it at h. Come on. Come to my lectures more often. All right. He played f4. Ooh, I'm scared. Well, a little scared, actually. Okay. Queen h2 as you recommended. Queen g4. Mike Hummer approved. Mike Hummer's like queen g4. That's right. All right. Now we have to stop mate. So, all right. Now the thing is, if he doesn't mate me, I'm going to take all his pawns and mate him, right? So, sort of like at the end of The Hustler, he's like, you better kill me, because if you don't, put all those little pieces back together, and so help me, Bert, I'm going to kill you. Nothing? You're all the worst. But you at home, one or two of you know The Hustler, so then you're like, yeah. No, you don't. You're the worst. All right. You're not like Matt Larson, who got me the Blu-ray of The Hustler for some holiday. I don't know. Some holiday I never heard of. What? Okay, so I might get mated, but I might not. And then he's in trouble. King's on E1, D pawn's hanging, he's down a pawn. You with some crazy comment. It's not my move. Didn't I just play knight G6?
Oh, sorry.
But you're right, if it was my move, knight takes D4.
I assumed F5 would be played.
Ah, okay.
And then knight takes D4.
He played D5. Now knight takes D4 is risky.
All right.
So now if my knight moves, then F5. Rook E8. So I'm attacking him too. Yeah, isn't Rook E4 scary? You scared my comer? My comer's like, I'm scared with both sides. I never see him so interested. He's like, what's happening? Yeah, so this is actually one reason why I like this opening. Now I was accused on YouTube, probably by some super intelligent individual, that I'm the most boring player ever, okay? Like the boring world of Niels Bohr, that kind of boring, right? Is that like boring to you? Ish don't think so. All right, this is exciting, ooh. Okay, Chicago Open tournament. All right, he played Long Castle, also exciting. Queen takes F2, sacrificing a piece. And he played Bishop D3, not accepting. Complicated. So if he takes my knight, what do I do? Rook D1. Queen takes D1's risky because his rook's hanging. So king takes D1? No? Why not? All right, now, I don't know. Rook E4, Queen C8 is mate. Yeah, probably I just resign. What?
You just like
Queen A2, Rook D8 check. After Rook D8, Queen D7, Mike Comer's confused. Are you confused? He's like a little. Looks good for whom?
White,
White? What?
obviously.
What? Why? What can I take and go here? Haha. Now-
And worked aware of G.
Rook to wherever it blocks the wherever that is, move the rook there. Okay, so probably should have taken my knight, but I would have won anyway with some trickery and deceit. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he played bishop to D3, Queen C5 exclam, Knight B4 exclam, and for those of you who can count, I'm 2 pawns up. And look at my 2 knights. Yes. Bishop B1, Rook D6. Haha, I did it again. Rook D6 in every possible Chigorin. Now the idea is to checkmate him with advantage. Bishop D4, Queen C4, A3, C5. Now if you know the en passant rule, there's even more legal moves here. If you don't know it, that saves you some hassle. Yeah. Are you confused yet?
How come he's never played F5?
He's so mad. He's furious. He's furious.
That's like so much. Never done this.
There's other stuff going on, like the Democratic debates going on. All right, who wants to try to win $1 million? It's like the Millionaire Open. All you have to do is name all 5 Democratic candidates on the stage. No, nobody can do that. I asked the guy who was the moderator, he's like, what? There's more than 2? He was like, I can't believe it. All right, it turns out even Donald Trump showed up. He's like, yeah, whatever, I'll probably be Democrat anyway. All right, C5, Bishop C3, Knight A6, Rook G3. Obviously, Rook here check is annoying. So he defends his bishop, even though Comer would play F5. Queen A4, attacking his rook.
Finally.
I didn't really attack his rook, I tricked you. F5, rook check, Queen A3 check, Knight B4, threatening.
C2 checkmate.
And,
Also queen a2.
yeah, queen a2 mate. So he should stop that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So work back.
Then queen c3 check's annoying.
I mean, rook up. Well, I don't mean rook up.
Yeah, life's tough. Okay, so he took the knight, obviously. Comer's like, yeah, that's what I meant. Now I'm threatening queen b2 mate. Knight e5, haha, with your f5. And we trade into this ending where I'm 3 pawns up. Comer's shocked.
And good bishop on a2.
Yeah. And after h5, he resigned.
Really?
Yeah. Because good bishop on a2. Yeah. I wouldn't resign, but he was fed up with it. Yeah. Very suspicious game. He was not happy afterwards, or a year later. But that's what the Chigorin does. It makes you furious. Because you're probably winning right away, then you lose. Yeah. All right, now my favorite game. Why is it my favorite? I didn't play it. Yeah. I didn't understand this game at all, but the computer explained it to me. So now I understand it a little. This is played against Loginov, who's a good player, against a player I've never heard of, Tishin. Never heard of him. And it was played at the Suwayton Memorial, and I played Suwayton. What if it's the same guy? All right, so they transpose. Okay, rook g1, and once I played g6, once I castled. This guy castled. Don't blink, by the way, the game ends really soon. Game's almost over. I'm serious. Yeah. Okay, f4, rook e8, bishop g2, queen f. I've never played queen f5, never. Bishop c3, knight g6, Mike Comer recommended. Queen b1. All right, now the game is 2,000% tactics. And unfortunately, white missed everything, so the game ended in like 2 moves. All right, so black played the obvious tactic.
Queen takes f4.
Queen takes f4, looks good. And then white played king f1, threatening pawn takes queen with advantage. Rook takes e3. Hold on, we're not done. Queen takes b7. Mike Comer resigns with both colors. Hold on. It took me hours with a computer to understand this game.
Rook down to e8, and if he takes with the bishop, then I don't know. Yeah. Sorry.
Now his position's hard.
So.
Actually, queen b1 wasn't a bad move. So this is why I like the Chigorin, because I figure better player will probably win, and I hope I'm the better player, which isn't always the case. But you get positions where you're not suffering, both sides are suffering. That's what should happen in chess.
Rook b8, queen takes c6, queen f5.
Yeah, you're the best player in your chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he's right, don't raise your hand. Just say, wow, that was good.
No, I was.
You were just agreeing. Okay, rook b8, queen c6, queen f5. Some people think queen d3 is mate here.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, rook b1 check's good.
That's also good. Does queen b1 check, is that good?
Yeah.
Okay, so queen b1 check, rook b1 check, queen d3 mate. That's a lot of threats. White played the computer recommended move.
Bishop e5. Both.
You're right, except you don't know your notation. Otherwise, you're right.
Yeah, I said it.
Well, no, you're close. Keep going.
Bishop to d5.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you meant.
Yeah.
Pretend you meant it. Bishop to e4. If I take it, I'm material animating you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's giving up without a fight. Bishop d5, fight. Fight, fight, fight.
Queen h3, bishop g2, queen f5.
Draw? Oh, then play the winning move?
Yeah.
Nice. Knight h4. Notice, white can play king g2 in many positions because the white bishop isn't on g2. I'm serious. But now he can't. So now queen d3 is mate again. Right, Mike Kummer? Okay, now white played a move recommended by Mike Kummer. No, close.
Bishop F7.
Exactly. No. And now, much to the chagrin of you at home, because you had to watch this lecture, and all of you here, because you don't know the right answer, and to white, black made the best move, shocking everybody. What? Who? Who? What move? Are you just raising your hand to agree with everybody again? King h8, right. If you play queen takes f7, then it's hard to play queen d3 check or queen h3 check. And king takes allows all kinds of trickery and deceit. King h8, and he has nothing. And even though white's a piece up, it's plus 8 billion for black. It actually announces mate the computer. And white resigned. And white was the higher rated player, but it was too complicated for him, right? Because this opening's complicated. White's king is on e1, he rarely castles. In the game where he castled queenside against me. And black can castle either way, and there's a lot of tactics and tricks. Now, white does score well, but I didn't show you those games. No. And this may explain why Morozevich's rating is now 0. Man, he played in the Blitz and got like 0. Terrible. Well, Morozevich was one of the leading exponents of this opening, but he keeps losing. So, yeah, doesn't play it anymore.
He used to play this Saturday.
Morozevich always plays the Chigorin. Yeah, in fact, he wrote a book on the Chigorin. All right, back me up.